What a surprise, surprise. Now, we know a little bit about you already. We know you're from Manchester, yes. We know that you're in your 40s, and we know that you're sporty. So, Ashley, has your dad always been into fitness?
Yeah, he's always at the gym, and he goes mad if he's not up and about. He just doesn't sit still.
Adele, a few years ago, Paul's life was very different, wasn't it?
Yes, about 2.5 years ago, on the 8th of April 2011, Paul had a stroke. He was only aged 45, and that was when our life changed forever.
Yeah. Well, Ashley wrote in to tell us about her dad, so I sent my cameras undercover to find out a bit more.
When I met Paul, he was about 15, 16 stone, and that wasn't overweight. He was bodybuilding, always been into fitness. He'd go out on his bike.
Even when I was little, we used to go out cycling a lot. He used to put me on the back of his bike and he used to just fall asleep. Cycling's like his main thing, isn't it?
But on April the 8th, 2011, Paul woke up and basically he tried to get out of the bed and he'd fell. So I jumped up and as soon as I put the light on, I knew he'd had a stroke.
It was just like so much of a shock to everyone because he never drank, never smoked, did like exercise every day. The last person you imagine a thing like that happening to. When I saw him, he just like started crying and he was apologising to me. I didn't like think that he would make it, which is like really bad to think about.
He just looked helpless and I'd never seen Paul look helpless before. It was awful.
The type of stroke that Paul had carried with it a significant risk of mortality and a high risk of disability. To find yourself having to learn how to get out of bed is the most harrowing of experiences for a stroke patient. But with the right mental attitude and with the right determination, anything is possible.
We started doing a video diary so he could see the progression. I remember going one day and he said to me, "Doctor said I'm not going to have good movement in my arm." So I said, "What do you think to that?" He said, "I'll show him." If you tell Paul he can't do something, then he's out there and he's doing it. And he's doing it 10 times more than what you said.
Oh, that's brilliant, that, isn't it?
By like 3 days in, he started moving his leg and then doctors were like, "Oh no, he won't move his arm though." And then he started moving his arm and they were like, "Oh, he won't get on a bike." And then he just kept doing all these things that he said that he wouldn't do. He used to lie in his hospital bed and point out the window at this hill and he was like, "I want to be cycling on that hill, I want to cycle on that hill." Because he was so obsessed with cycling before, and it was a big thing to cycle again, like more than it was to move his arm, he just wanted to get on a bike again.
Mark Cavendish riding on the front.
When he was covering for the hospital, Mark Cavendish was so inspirational to Paul because Cavendish, he's set himself a challenge.
Third stage victory for Mark Cavendish.
He's built his way up to reaching that goal. Paul's had to do that with his stroke as well.
That's the 20th of May, and 200 on the rower.
First day home. Paul's training regime, 7 months after the stroke.
It's just over 2 years now since he had the stroke, and he cycles to work, back from work, goes out at the weekends. He's doing like over 200 miles a week, I think.
From where he was to where we are now is just amazing, and it's all Paul's determination that's got us back from what could have been a horrendous situation for the rest of our lives.
He's a really big inspiration to a lot of people and he needs to realise how amazing he is, because that's how amazing we think he is.
Well, I think everybody in here tonight would agree with me that you are a truly inspirational man. It is incredible. Despite being told you couldn't walk, 6 weeks after the stroke, you were back at home. How on earth did you achieve that?
Determination, I suppose. It was selfishness, in a sense, to sort of say, I am not putting up with this, you know, I am going to get, I am going to get better. And obviously, the family around me was just, people around me was amazing. Like, I know, like Ashley was going through her exams.
Sorry, let's take one of these. It affects the whole family,
I was so conscious that, she had to do well.
She's so proud of you, aren't you? So proud of you. She's told me all about you. She wrote in because you're a hero to her. Well, you're a hero to a lot of people because what you've overcome is absolutely incredible.
You've made me cry on television.
Sorry about that. Sorry about
you've
that.
been through it, so...
Yeah, exactly. We all understand. Something that was key to your recovery was cycling.
Yes.
Why was that so important?
Because it's freedom. It's freedom to just get on a bike and just go and forget work, forget family problems, forget everything around you and just go. Cycling is just amazing.
Liberating.
You know? Liberating, that's the word.
And the doctor said that you were never going to walk again, but on the first anniversary of your stroke, you cycled 100 miles.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know how you did it. I mean, it's a miracle. It really is. I mean, personally for you, how did that feel when you crossed that finishing line?
It was so liberating. It was almost to say, I've proved you wrong. You know, I can walk again. And I can cycle. I can definitely cycle again.
You definitely can. Before he suffered the stroke, Paul was planning on riding 3,000 miles coast to coast across America. Are you still up for that?
Yes, yeah, we're planning it for 2015.
Oh my goodness me. So coast to coast, how many miles would that involve a day?
We're looking at around 120, 130 miles a day because we want to enjoy it, so we want to be able to...
Go to a spa, that's enjoyable. Well, Paul's achieved so much thanks to his determination and the inspiration of one of his heroes. So here for you tonight, we've got a message from the man himself. This is Mark Cavendish.
Your focus and positive mental attitude has got you where you are today. Your tenacity is extraordinary. Against all the odds, you were determined to succeed when everybody else had given up hope. You were never going to be defeated. Because, Paul, you are a true champion.
There you go, your hero calling you a true champion. How does that feel?
That's unbelievable, like I say. It's just an inspiration to me.
But you know what? You can tell him yourself how amazing he is because he's not just on video. He is here right now to meet you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the fastest man on two wheels, the most successful professional road racer of all time. It's Mark Cavendish.
Oh my God! Whoa, man! Oh my God!
Come and take a seat for me. Come and take a seat for me. There you go. You really are surprised. You didn't think this was going to happen at the beginning of the night.
I've just been telling people, like, you know, there's no way of me getting starstruck, sort of thing, and stuff, you know, but it's Mark Cavendish, isn't it? You know, wow.
Well, it's an honour to be able to introduce you both to each other. And Mark, I know that when you heard about Paul's story, you really wanted to get involved, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I heard about Paul. I was actually in the Tour de France when I heard your story. And I had to come and meet you, you know. And you're an absolute honour. It's humbling and an absolute inspiration.
It's humbling to see you, mate. It's really, you know, you've done so much. You've done so much for cycling, and you are such an amazing sprinter, you know. I mean, I don't know how you do it.
It's incredible. I'm lost for words. Just hearing your story, just watching your videotape, just what you've been like, what your family have been like, you know, and just seeing what you've overcome, how you've done it, and your attitude towards it. It's an inspiration to everybody.
Thank you very much.
And Mark, Paul's planning on riding across America, and you have got something to help Paul on his way.
I have, yeah. We've arranged for a bicycle for you to help you on that trip.
We certainly have. Thanks to Specialized, this bike has been custom made just for you to take you on your trip across America. There she is. Beautiful thing. And actually, that's not all, is it? You've also got this as well. This is from Mark himself, and it's signed, and it's for you. So I'll give that to you to take it.
Thank you very much, guys. Seriously, wow.
Now you've got a big decision. Are you going to wear it or frame it?
Hey? I think I'll frame it. I think I'll frame that, yeah.
Paul, there is just one more thing, actually. Courtesy of Face Partnership, Paul, Adele and Ashley are going to get VIP passes to watch our Olympic heroes in action at the Revolution Cycling Series in Manchester. So you can have a lovely day there with all your family. Honour to meet you. You are an inspiration, and thank you to your family. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mark Cavendish. Thank you so much. Adele, Ashley, and of course, to Paul. Well, we have lots more surprises to come. Who'll be next? Find out after the break.